Yeah, we're we're learning. I don't know how
Okay,
it will work. It will it. I guess they will. Yeah, I don't, yeah. I think it should be good now.
I don't know. Start it and let's see.
Yeah. Okay. I think they may have missed the part that we're talking about, or they'd have to go back. So
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Maybe we start over. Greetings, guys. Welcome, limit breakers, to the Limitless podcast. We had a little hiccup a while ago, but we press on. My name is Dr. Thaon Simms. Good to be back. Joining us as always is your co-host, Dr. Matthew Preston. Help the people in Matthew.
hey guys, what's good?
Excellent, excellent. Um, yeah, it is good to be back. You know, the title of this episode, as you guys can see, I mean, we're really speaking about that Hurricane Melissa and everything that happened to Jamaica after the hurricane and so on. I see people in the live that are here. Greetings, guys. Pray that you guys and your family members are good. Um, yeah, Preston, how you feeling about everything? What's been going on with you?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm giving thanks. I was not, I guess, as badly affected. I wasn't in that side of the island that had was more directly hit. So I guess I'm giving thanks, and a lot of my family members are all right, or yes, there's some amount of damage. I think like most people will have some. They were affected somewhat if you live in Jamaica, but
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I'm giving thanks that I'm okay, but still, hoping and praying for all the other people that were more severely affected. People lost their homes, their businesses, their animals. It's a really serious thing, and I think it's just I'm grateful that I'm in a position I can also try, I guess, help people. Like I was saying, we were just saying before that I gave blood today. I think I can probably,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see the, it's
The
kind of hard
mark.
to see the,
Oh, the
no,
bandage.
the,
Yeah, I can see
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
The band-aid.
Yeah, so I'm happy. I was trying to do what I can. That's one of the ways, that easiest ways. Even if you don't have money, if you don't have items and stuff, there a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
hospitals at the blood bank already before was is always like short on blood. So that's one of the ways that I think people can also help to give back if you don't have the money, or even another way. Yes, you could give money and aid and those things, but you can also give blood.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. And for the non-Jamaicans watching, or people that may not really be aware of everything. So, this episode is about Hurricane Melissa. And just some it's basically post Hurricane Melissa recovery in Jamaica. It made a direct landfall on the 28th of October, 2025, as a category 5 monster. Right, that's actually the first recorded Cat 5 ever to hit the island. Direct hit with the
Mm,
island, with winds around what it was. I saw winds around 185 miles per hour sustained.
mm,
Extremely low pressure. We've never seen that before in the eye, and it was described as at the very edge of what's physically possible in the
mm-hmm,
Atlantic. And I remember, going through Twitter and seeing all of these things, and I was just getting super anxious.
mm,
The storm actually cut a path of destruction across the southern and western parishes, specifically like St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, Manchester, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne,
mm-hmm,
Clarendon. Those are, it flattened homes, infrastructure. So far, I
mm-hmm,
saw that the death toll is around 32 people that were killed and is
mm,
rising. Um,
I think there's a lot of
thousands.
bodies that like it's hard to count. It's like if
Yeah,
when you like if you yeah, there's a lot.
it's hard to
So I'm
find.
sure that's gonna be much higher. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hmm
That's
and
definitely understating it.
yeah, thousands of people have been displaced, marooned. They have no homes. Over 500,000 people lost power in the immediate aftermath. Entire communities. And if you've seen, by entire communities have been left underwater in areas like Black River and so on, and roads were choked with debris. You see down poles, etc. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
down poles. I mean, I was there. I've been around that section of the island all week. Even up to yesterday, I was
Now, which section specifically? Like Westmoreland?
a lot of sections. The main places I've been to,
Mm-hmm.
so like yesterday, I was in South Savannah Lamar. I was in Bluefields, Whitehall, so that's like Westmoreland. I was in parts of
Mm-hmm.
St. Elizabeth. I was
Mm-hmm.
in Hanover. I mean, I drove the North Coast. We stopped in Falmouth briefly. We were in Mobay earlier this week doing a lot of health checks and so on, and um, just assessing a lot of the damage to different areas, and just providing as much aid as possible, distributing a lot of items and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And social media, the things that you see, it doesn't do it any justice whatsoever. Like it doesn't show the gravitas of how badly affected we were, because we are. Because if you look at the trees and so on, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I can show images. They're all on my phone. Maybe another time. But it
Mm-hmm.
literally looked like somebody came and poisoned all the trees, and all you're seeing is there are no leaves in their areas, like blue fields, no
Mm-hmm.
trees. I say houses upside down, houses completely destroyed. Um, it just doesn't look, because I travel South Coast all the time, and it doesn't look like what it used to look like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, Prime Minister Andrew Holness actually told Parliament that Jamaica endured one of the most punishing natural disasters in our modern history. So surpassing that of Gilbert. I don't want to hear anybody talk about Gilbert anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and so on. So it's catastrophic damage. And so I think for all of us that were spared on the eastern section of the island, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it's our time to play a part in helping out those on the our brothers or sisters or relatives or friends,
Mm-hmm.
anyone, even strangers. Just there's simple things, as you said. Donating blood is free, sharing things on social media is free, uh, donating to different organizations and relief. Everybody must know somebody that's affected, or some drive that's going on, and can look through and find some old clothes, rinse them before you donate them, like food items, those kind of stuff. Yeah, man, serious.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, but yeah, I mean, it's just going through it was heartbreaking yesterday. I was hugging a lady yesterday after we were talking to her, and she lost everything. She lost her business. She lost her home. She doesn't have much clothes, and so on. And she has to be at work. She has to be at work because that's what's gonna pay the bills. But it's kind of hard to work with all that on your mind. And then
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people with chronic illnesses. I had a lady, her GMR was like 30, which is her blood sugar. It should be, it should be, I don't know, like 7 or 6 or 5. But it was 30, which is extremely high. And she takes insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Insulin is
Mm-hmm.
refrigerated. You
Mm.
put it in the
Oh
fridge,
boy.
but if you have no light or anything like that, what are you gonna do? If I
Mm-hmm.
send you to Cornwall Regional Hospital, which I'm probably sure is flooded with people, or actually flooded, because I know there's sections with no roof and so on. Like what,
Mm.
it's just it's a tough scenario right now for a lot of people. So
Mm-hmm.
we just have to do our part. We just have to do
Mm-hmm.
our part.
It's just
Yeah, I
wild.
mean
Like
we.
even when you look at the estimates in terms of the damage, like I
Hmm.
mean, it's still like an ongoing assessment. But I think I saw somewhere where it was saying like between like I think there was an article saying like between 5 to maybe 15 billion US, not
Yeah,
Jamaican, US,
the prime
USD.
minister said 1 trillion. I think he said around 1 trillion Jamaican dollars. Trillion.
Uh,
I can't even fathom that amount.
yeah, it's easiest for me to use the billion US, and I think I was trying to compare it, for example, to like Beryl and Ivan. I think Beryl was in like maybe the few hundred millions. I don't think it was. I think pretty sure it was like under a billion US in
Hmm.
damages based on the estimates that I was seeing. So the
Yeah.
fact that this is multitude, like multi-billion, it's like, and it could be even higher. Like this is just an estimate. When by the time, I think it's going to take even so much time to
Hmm.
do the estimate. Like over time, you're gonna gradually, get more information. It's gonna like right now, I might be saying 5 billion. few more months it's 10 billion, a few more months it's 20 billion, and like it's even like you were saying, like people talk about Gilbert and Ivan and those stuff, but this, the damage is like worse, so it really
Yeah.
was a very, very, very serious thing, so
Yeah.
and yeah, I think right now we're doing, I guess, damage control. It's hard because it's like I don't think we've ever faced something like this, or haven't faced, and it's, yeah, we've never faced something like this, and we haven't even faced even such a major hurricane, I think, in a while. Yes, Beryl was really bad, but comparing Beryl to this is just way, way worse. So it's like even our ability, like the thing is, it's just not even like many countries face something like this. So it's not something
Exactly.
like, oh, we kind of have a plan, we have some experience, we're like, oh, I remember this happened 3 years ago. Okay, we need to do this, then do this, then do this. It's kind of like you just like I imagine if like I was the prime minister, like if I was Andrew Holness or whatever, or if I was one of those ministers, I don't even know what I'd be doing. Like I'd be I'd be like, okay, sit down, and I'd say, okay, let's do this, and then something else just happened, and I'm just like, wait, what? And it's like you just like it's just gonna be so hard. Like things are just happening. It's so dynamic, Like people, I think it's always easy to kind of look and say, oh, why didn't they think of this? Like, you see, they're doing
Yeah.
this. Why didn't they
It's
think of
so
this? But like, you don't really realize what it is like when you're in the position. Not to say that they couldn't do better in some regards. Like, I'm not saying, oh, don't like say, oh, they could do this better, they could do this better. But you kind of have to say, hey, this is not a this is not an easy job. This is not something that I think a lot of us could do. I would hate to be like the prime minister, or like a MP or something right now, finance minister, to deal with this. This is just so much stress. Or even a doctor in the imagine if you were on call or at the hospital. Think of how many hours. Like I'm hearing some crazy shifts, like I'm seeing stuff people are asking, oh, they want people to work 24, 48 hour shifts. And
yeah.
then, even when they say 48 hours, it's not really going to be 48 hours. It's not like as soon as the 48 hours done, oh, you just walk
Mm,
off. No, like you're just going and not eating. It's just, yeah, it's really, really tough.
mm.
Really, really tough, yo.
Yeah, I've
I
been
should wait. We
seeing.
should big up some people. Seen some people in the chat.
Okay.
So there's Know It All
Hey.
2024. He said, "Crazy the gains I made on Atlantic Hardware." So that's ticker AHPC. And he said, "I didn't need
Mm,
it to go any higher than $1.50. I got a good chunk at 89 cents." Okay, nice, nice,
nice.
good for you. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Was it
hope
that you
know it
bought it?
all. Know it all. I
I guess
hope
he
you
does know
donate
it
some of
all.
that. Yeah, I hope you donate some of those gains, bro. Or I don't know if you're male or female, but I definitely hope you consider it at least. To give
Hmm.
back. But
Hmm.
yeah, congratulations, Atlantic definitely performed very well.
Hmm.
I do think that a lot of, I think in our previous video on the, before we knew the scope of how badly
Yeah,
damaged
I had
Jamaica
no
would
idea it
be,
would be this bad. No
you
idea it would be
know,
this bad.
we, yeah, we created that video. And I actually feel bad for kind of creating that video because, we were thinking about which stocks would be affected negatively, which stocks would be affected positively. Like that was the premise
Hmm.
before the hurricane actually landed and so on.
Wait, what? When
This
did you
was
record the video?
we recorded it the Tuesday, a week before Melissa actually hit us.
No, do you
That
remember the
was the week,
specific day? Because I could actually look at what the
the
price was
21st,
then.
the 21st of
It was the 20
November. I remember we recorded that because
of
at that
of
time
October.
of October, sorry, yeah, the 21st.
Oh wow! See, it was 88 cents that day, and you could have
Mm,
got some units after that. Wow, below a dollar.
yeah,
I don't know if you see my screen here. Wow.
because we did big up Atlantic and we bigged up Lumba
Mm-hmm.
as well. I don't know if you can check
Mm-hmm.
about Lumba, check what Lumba is like
Yeah.
now, but yeah, I feel bad about recording that episode, yeah, because it's just I don't know if it's I don't know, man.
I
It's
mean,
hard to put
I
in
did not
words
cause the hurricane,
because
sir.
yeah, true, true. We never caused it. They said Andrew
You
Holness has a
think about it.
hurricane
This
machine.
company, the fact that this company is around, is what is helping us to recover. Like
Yeah,
there are people who need the supplies, and they will go like, for example, I remember, I think I where we bought stuff from Lumber Depot. I think we got
Mm,
some stuff like for our roof because we were trying to fix up some stuff with our roof before the stuff came. So I'm bigging up Lumber Depot, you know.
mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't think you should see like that. Like, oh, they didn't cause a hurricane and they helped provide um relief.
Yeah. Can I see the what's the price again from when we recorded till now for Lumbo?
Uh,
I'm seeing you on it now. So that was the
yeah. Hold on.
21st.
I think it is a way I can do the. Well, I think the episode came out the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna try to see. So I mean, oh no, when it came out the 25th, it would have been the Friday. It's gone
Yeah.
up 37% since.
Wow.
Yeah, 37%. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Big up Mr. Pari Jamaica in the chat. Jamaica strong, 100%. That's part of the reason we're also doing this episode. We want to just bring awareness to what's going on, rally the troops. If you guys can donate. And you said so true. Some people don't understand the magnitude of this hurricane. I agree. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy for people, especially on the eastern side of the island, like Kingston and so on, that feel
Mm-hmm.
like they got away and so on, and life is just regular, like back as normal. Because when I was during the hurricane, I was in Mandeville, so I
Mm-hmm.
saw it, we got the effects, just like during burial, we got the effects, right? But not as bad as people in like Westmoreland and Sainty, but we still got the effects,
Mm-hmm.
and it just to be around the area, see light poles dropping, hearing trees snap, hearing the wind whistle, seeing parts of
Mm-hmm.
people's roofs fly off during it, because I had like a good view of everything during the hurricane. I literally just stayed
Mm-hmm.
um in a safe area, like on the balcony. It was very safe.
Mm-hmm.
um and then I went
Mm-hmm.
inside for a bit, because but to see all of the destruction, I was just like, this is gonna take us years to build back from this, and I didn't realize the scope. And Chris Kovich, I hope I pronounced that right. He said, "Bro, this hurricane is mad. It will take years to recover, and I don't know if persons really understand this." Yeah, I agree with you 100% there. So we just have to do our part, because the sooner we all
Mm-hmm.
recover, the better it is. The sooner we
Mm-hmm.
help somebody else recover, the better it is, not just for the economy, just for people's lives on a whole. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Preston, you were talking about certain stocks. I actually wanted to talk about like economically, what things that have been going on recently. I sent you some articles in the chat, but
Mm-hmm.
an acquaintance of mine, I always big up Keenan Faulkner. There are not many economists I listen to, but he's definitely one. I saw a couple of your interviews, Keenan, and he spoke about the certain things that Jamaica's put in place, and one is the cat bond, and it's a payout of 150 million US. So Melissa triggers this article from the Observer. I don't know if you're actually looking at. Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
50 million US, World Bank catastrophe bond for Jamaica. This is something Nigel Clark. You know, I think he's the one that spearheaded this bond, and
Mm-hmm.
basically what it is so it was pretty cool how he did it in terms of like a grid system. So imagine just lines across Jamaica, like different areas
Mm-hmm.
are different um quadrants, so that they're like squares over different areas. And if,
Mm-hmm.
based on the intensity of the hurricane, this is the simplest version of it. I know it has to do with like central pressure and so on, but I'm not going to go into specifics. But based on the intensity of the hurricane, it would trigger a payout from, and based on where it hits, whichever quadrant. So it doesn't even have to make a direct hit, but once it lands within those quadrants, we would get a payout. And so the payout is for relief, he says. And I remember there are three different like areas of recovery. So you have relief, which is the immediate needs, which is like right now in the very very short term, the couple of weeks after the incident, the hurricane. Then you have recovery, and that's more medium term things, and then longer term you have like reconstruction, rebuilding things, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. So this is just for relief. This cat bond was really just for relief, because back in the
Mm-hmm.
past they said we used to have to free up funds and so on from the existing budget, but this is so that we don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have to touch the existing budget. This is just funds that
Mm-hmm.
are is made available to us, so that we can help with relief efforts and so on. And so
Mm-hmm.
that level of preparedness, big brain energy, yeah, that's actually paying off now. So that enables us to move swiftly from recovery to reconstruction and so on. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, um, I've been seeing other payouts that we're supposed to get as well. I'm trying to remember the name, but it's an insurance. It's
Some
CCRIF.
CCRF or something like that.
Yeah, trying to remember exactly what it stands for, but we also got paid. There's a payout from that as well. See if I can. I don't know if you can find it, but that's insurance. That's like an insurance. I remember it's some insurance fund. I think the IF is insurance fund. Um, but
CCRIF. What does it mean?
um,
Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. SPC has announced a record payout of 70.8 million to the government of Jamaica, the largest single payout in the organization's history.
mm, yeah,
Interesting. Yeah. Within 14 days of the event. Okay.
yeah. US 70
Yeah.
million.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like the government was lackadaisical. They put certain things in place, thankfully, um, to kind of just aid in relief. Uh, so at least
It was created in '07.
really, oh wow, well that's excellent.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes, it
so I mean,
automatically triggered 3 days after Hurricane Melissa crossed the island.
mm, yeah, we
Mm.
need that
And
quick
it's
money.
mm. And so we got 26.6 million from it, from related to Hurricane Beryl. And we got some stuff from tropical cyclones Zeta and Eta in 2020. Oh,
Oh, okay.
apparently the fund has paid out 462 million US to different countries in the Caribbean, Atlantic, and Central America since it was founded.
Mm,
Mm, okay,
jeez. Okay.
interesting.
Well.
Yeah, like as an investor, I think it's just you have to try to. I mean, this is our money. Yes, it's not as much as, I mean, ideally, like we said, it costs billions in damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Wait,
we're
something.
talking millions in relief. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
still something. And I think it's interesting to say, okay, what are the industries that are gonna benefit? What are the companies? Obviously, well, we said that we think construction companies, hardware stores. I think in some ways it's a good time to own a hardware store, and it'll be a good time to own a hardware store for quite a while. Because as you
Mm-hmm.
pointed out, this isn't going to be something that you just fix. Like I was talking to someone Wednesday night, he was telling me that based in some of the areas that got the worst hit, like I think in Westmoreland or something, in terms of just the lights, like the electrical poles and whatever,
Yeah.
they're so badly damaged that it's not even like he can recoup it because it's just like twisted up with a lot of the trees. He's saying that I think based on the person he was talking to, who I guess I don't know if it's like he works with JPS or something, there's some parts that he doesn't think are going to get electricity until next year's summer. Next
Jeez.
year's summer, they're not gonna have electricity because it's just that bad. It's like they're gonna have to literally just rewire everything. It's not, oh, just fix this one part. It's like they're just gonna have to run new wires everywhere. There was something I
Mm.
saw about possibly running um like there's something I saw about the prime minister suggesting that JPS do something like with wiring underground or something to I don't remember where a
I mean
site.
that is the ideal scenario, because that's what they do in like first world countries, which is why they don't
Mm.
really lose light during things like
Ah,
this.
see, I found something. It's from the JIS. I'm trying to pull it up.
Mm.
It's taking a while to load. Well, here's an Observer article. JIS taking a while to load. Consider articles titled JPS told to put electricity grid underground where feasible. Yeah.
I mean, they've been telling them that for a long time. I know it's way
Oh,
more costly
I,
though. That's
I
the
mean, it
issue.
makes if there's ever a time if it's gone. No, I mean,
Yeah, true.
yeah, it'd be different if it's like you already have it and be like, well, that's an additional cost. But if you already, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
And then
but
it's
I don't
like
know if
it's
they.
forward thinking, I guess, in some ways. 'Cause I'm trying to think how much more expensive is it? Because if, for example, there's another storm, or when there is
Hmm.
another storm, not if, when there is another storm, if it destroys it again and you have to build it back again, I'm just like wondering the cost of it. Like, how much more expensive is it? Is it like 10 times more expensive? But is it like 50% more? But then it's more resilient and you wouldn't have to do it the next time, I don't know. But I guess they'll have to do
Mm.
that.
I think the thing about it is though, like ideally, yeah, since everything is gone, you'd want to do that. But there's also the fact that, I mean, if I were JPS and this is happening, right? Do you even have enough capital to be able to do something like that? Like
Mhm,
to initiate this underground wiring project, because right now your primary objective is to fix all the poles that are down, and or at least not even fix all the poles that are down. Your primary objective is to restore electricity to the people that have lost it, because you've already lost, so customers are just not paying you right now as a business, and this is also
mhm,
people's livelihoods. Like, you'd save lives if you have light. Let's just say that.
mhm,
Like,
mhm,
hospitals need electricity, police stations need electricity. There are a lot of crucial infrastructure, not just people's homes, but yeah,
mhm.
people's homes, they also need electricity too. And I wish JPS was listed so we could, see and experience a lot of these kind of things. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, I mean, there are places even in Mandeville, and Mandeville wasn't even that badly hit, and they just haven't gotten back light, and I don't see when they'll get back light for now. So I can't even imagine, like, driving on the roads through Sainty, through Westmoreland, there are no light poles. Like,
mm,
the lines are all over the place. They're tangled with the
mhm,
debris and everything. So,
mhm,
they do have a. I mean, I saw that the JPS actually put out an article, or sorry, there was an article written about them
mhm.
getting overseas help. I think 100 different workers coming in, to try and
Mm.
help restore electricity and so on. So
Okay, that's good. That's good.
yeah, they also used to give updates on how far, like the progress of electricity daily, and then they stopped. I don't know why they stopped, but
Mm. Well, I saw in this article, well, this was November the 5th from the Jamaica Information Service. It said JPS was reporting that they've restored to 206,000 customers of the 550,000 customers.
mm,
So that is like what, 30, just under 40%.
hmm,
Just under 40%. So yeah.
wow,
Mm, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's insane. Like, just it's there's I feel like there's just so many things to think about. Like, I really need to sit down and think like, hey, because I mean, I just going down the list of companies. Like, okay, yes, there's like the hardware companies, but I'm trying to think, okay, what are the ones that maybe are less obvious to
Hmm.
people? Like, you have to think like, I mean, you could be like, oh, people are gonna be stressed out. They're gonna smoke more. Carry us. um, I'd want to even
Yeah.
see cargo handlers. I want to see like their ports. I should check to see how the ports, if their port was like damaged or anything,
Hmm. Because they
or
also
like,
not just the port, but even cement to for like reconstruction and so on.
mm-hmm.
Like even Carib Cement,
Oh,
how
by
how
buying
will
house
they
cement,
fare?
the one they own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or even Carib
yeah.
Cement. Like what are those cement sales like? Because
Mm-hmm.
no, with people losing homes, if you really and truly want, and even the damage to existing structures, you definitely are going to need cement to help with a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So in the medium to short to medium term, you should see a bump in sales for
What do
carb
you call short
cement.
to medium term?
Like in this quarter, I believe after this quarter, like even the
Mm-hmm.
next quarter, you should be seeing gains or at least
Mm-hmm.
increased revenues. And it comes at a
Mm.
time where Carib Cement has increased their
Yo, look at that.
capacity.
Yeah, look at that.
Hmm.
It's a good thing they set that up. I think it was what
Yeah,
30% more cement that they said they'd be able to make.
exactly. 30% more cement. So comes at a time where they expanded and can deal. I don't even know if they can manage this capacity now,
Mm.
um, and what that would look like. But hey, it's necessary. It's quite necessary.
Mm.
Um,
You know, it's funny.
I'm here.
Mm,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I can probably no. 'Cause I was saying is even there was something I saw about. Remember, I think we were talking about it once, where like I think we did an episode on Carib Cement, and I was saying that hey, the company that owns Carib Cement, so Carib Cement is the company based in Jamaica, but it's owned by like I think it's a Mexican company.
Hmm.
They that company was selling off other cement factories that they've had in other countries, and I think even recently they sold like another one. You know, and it's
Mm,
like they seem to be what they're doing is like they're more based in like more developed countries, like I think the U.S., Mexico, and that stuff, and they're selling off what they call the factories in the developing countries or like the Caribbean or South America or some of those places. And I was just like, you know, it's I'm really just wondering if they're gonna end up selling Carib cement. I mean, it's
yeah.
weird because like on one hand they're like, hey, with this happening to Jamaica, we're gonna have to rebuild a lot, which means the high demand for cement that we were already seeing that they had to upgrade, spend money to upgrades to make 30% more. They're likely gonna possibly reach that demand soon. They're gonna even need more. It's gonna basically just gonna be a high demand for cement in the island
Hmm.
for the foreseeable future. And in some ways, it's if they own the company, it'd be good for them because I guess they could make a lot of money from it. But then also that means that if someone wants to buy it from you, you could say, hey, that's almost like a reason that you could get a nice price. You could say, hey, this is gonna be churning out a lot of money. So you have if
Hmm.
you want to buy it from me, you have to pay up. So I
You have
guess
to
there's
pay up.
also those, yeah, that too. Or even I was thinking of like Dolphin Cove. I should check their. You haven't driven by Dolphin Cove. I want to see if they were damaged, like their Instagram or their Twitter. Well, they're probably more used
Um,
Instagram.
no, I didn't go Ochi side. I just came off
See, that'll
in
be something to
Drexel
check
and just
on
kept going. I saw
because I think it's what.
Hanover, Dolphin Cove and the Grill, the one that's in Hanover.
Yeah.
I believe that's
Uh.
damaged. That passed that, and
Ooh.
there was a lot of damage in that.
Guess the
I
question is
don't know
how
how
badly
damaged the.
damaged.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
the
thing. I
thing.
didn't actually look at the
Is
infrastructure
it
per
$12
se. So,
damaged bad?
yeah, yeah,
I
true,
don't know.
true, true. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I was even
Does
thinking
that
of
really?
Dollar. Think of Dollar
Mm-hmm.
Financial. Like I think I don't know if they were raising some money. They were gonna borrow like what's a billion or a half,
A
1.5 billion
billion.
dollars to lend to
Yeah.
more businesses and whatever and more people.
Funny
If
about Dollar.
they
Dollar beat, didn't they? Their earnings, like they posted a really good report recently. From what I
yes,
remember,
I
they
should actually
posted a
pull it.
really good. Yeah, see there, their profits are up 200. Is right 235%.
Well, I think that was the quarter where they had Barry last year, you know. So in some
Mm-hmm.
ways it was like kind of damp, and I think they said that they had a lot of issues there. But yeah, you're this quarter is 186 million in profits. I
Which
think
is
that's
more
probably their
than
best yet. They're already tracking
yeah,
ahead of their best, and they still have one more quarter left. So I guess
exactly.
it'll be interesting to see though, because I want to see. On one hand, I'm looking at them, well, all of the different, basically all of the different loans companies, banks,
Mm-hmm.
microfinance companies, all of those, whatever. They lend money to people. They lend money to businesses, stores, shops, taximen, whatever, all kind of different businesses. On one hand, as we said, they if they lent money to a business and the business literally blown away, how is that person going to pay them back? It's going to be very hard. You know, it's going to take some time. Maybe they even have to lend the person more money, change up the different terms. So that can
Mm-hmm.
affect them. on one end, but then also, as we said, that I think I don't know if they're finished raising their money or they were in the process of raising the money. So I wonder, it would be interesting. Like, what if that's going to affect them, their ability to raise the money? But
True.
this would be a good time in my head to raise money, because, or it would have been good to raise it right before it happens. You raise the money and then, okay, you start lending out money to different businesses as you rebuild. It'll be interesting to see, I guess, how they're. I don't know if they've ever disclosed what their exposure is. Like, do they lend a lot to Westmoreland or some of the more badly damaged parts? I know that I think they somewhat lend a bit to like the tourism industry and stuff. So I guess that's going to be affected. So yeah, I guess I'll be interested. I see some
Mm.
people in the chat,
Oh,
Mr.
before you hit the
Pari.
comment, before you hit
Oh,
Mr. Parry's comment, I want you to go back to Dollar again. I actually checked the chat, our chat. They posted something today, like
oh,
yeah,
okay.
before we get
Wow.
to you, Mr. Parry, but check what they posted today about
Yeah, let me
Hurricane
pull it up.
Melissa. So I'm gonna read. It was their investor update, post Hurricane Melissa portfolio impact and recovery strategy. So they're saying, following the recent catastrophe, Hurricane Dollar extends its deepest concern to all communities and clients affected. While there will be short-term impacts on our operations, primarily through access to our branch network, temporary payment delays, and localized credit exposure, they said our strong capital position and prudent risk management practices have positioned us to weather this period of disruption. They say preliminary assessments indicate that the current exposure represents 6% of the loan portfolio located within areas most affected by the hurricane. While this represents a modest portion of the overall portfolio, I don't know if 6% being a modest portion, but okay. Management has already taken steps to assess exposure, support affected clients, and implement appropriate recovery and mitigation measures. They said their diversified loan base, secured loan strategy, and conservative underwriting standards continue to underpin the stability of our balance sheet. And then they speak about, um, them being committed to protecting shareholder value and all of those nice things, and they remain with communities affected. But current exposure representing 6% of the loan portfolio. What do you think? Is that significant? Because they said modest exposure, but I think that's 6% isn't too. Maybe they're being. I don't know. Because all right, if you think of Dollar as a whole and what kind of company they are, if I lend to, if I own a bag juice company in Sainty,
Mm-hmm.
and my bag juice company is wiped out, but before it was wiped out, I borrowed money to kind of expand and so on, but I'm wiped out now. How am I gonna make money, earn revenue, sell bag juice? Bag juice can't even be cold because there's no light. So how am I gonna make money selling when I don't have a shop? I don't even have bag juice or anything like that, and it can't be cold or anything like that. How am I gonna make money to pay back this loan?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is a real concern, which is why they put out this notice and so on. 6% isn't that massive, but then when you think of the knock-on effects, I think 6% just sounds, in my opinion, very like they're on. It. I don't know if that's an underestimation. I don't know. Maybe they're
Mm-hmm.
underestimating how large the
Well,
impact will be, and I guess they won't be able to see
mm-hmm.
until you see the report where you say, all right, the what they call ECLs, expected credit losses, or people just not non-performing loans or so on. Like
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to see a lot of that in the future. But for now, they're saying that their estimate is 6% for the exposure. It's not to say that
Mm-hmm.
all of that 6% people won't be able to pay back. Because suppose some people's businesses and livelihoods and so on are fine, then they can. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
hold on. I just want to see. I think you're reading it a bit too fast, because when I was reading it slower, it says first our preliminary assessments. So
mm-hmm,
it just happened. So I'm sure. Like, think about it. Even the communication.
mm-hmm,
That isn't. I thought in those certain parts of the island, like, you can't call people. So the communication is affected. So this is, to me, This is just maybe the
Oh,
people that they have been able to get communication with.
I don't think so.
And
I don't think they would do it via communication, like calling and so on. I think they'd look
mhm,
at their loan portfolio, see it,
mhm,
the addresses of who is there and who lives in Saint Elizabeth, Westmoreland, in the very affected parishes, and say, all right, that's just 6% of the loan portfolio. I don't think they'd call. I don't
mm,
think communication has much to do with it. But
okay. The other thing I have, the question I had, it says located. When I read it, it says located. So it says 6% of the loan portfolio located within areas most affected by the hurricane.
hmm,
So if I'm reading that correctly, that's just saying the areas that were most affected. It's not saying areas that were affected.
yeah,
So
true.
there are other areas that are affected that would not be
Hmm,
included in the 6% if I'm understanding that correctly. So this
hmm,
is just saying the worst of the worst. But remember, um, even if it damaged Westmount really badly, like Saint Anne was also affected. Some of the other areas were also affected. And it can affect some affecting something Westmount can affect something in another area.
yeah, true.
So that's what I would say. So yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, like even with the example you're saying, in that situation, to me, if I was working with someone and suppose they were a hardware store and I lent them the money and say half of the hardware store, which is like the plywood and the other stuff was damaged, but half of it is all right. Maybe the roof gone and I lent you $1 million. Right now, people want these supplies. So what I would probably do is say, okay, let's work on some. Maybe I'll lend you some more money. Maybe we'll just work on something, extend the terms, increase the loan rate, something. But if it's a business that's still in demand, I'm not just gonna write off the money. So I think it's really just them like trying to work with a person, no, because it just
Hmm,
makes sense. 'Cause if the business is still in demand and can print the money, and the person owe me money, let me just try work on something. So that's how I think they would likely do. I think it just
yeah.
makes sense. Um, I want to get back to the comments. So Mr. Paris, what's your view on modular homes for future development? I don't really know that much about it. I think I've saw like some articles. I know that I think the cost of a lot of the modular homes is supposed to be a lot less, and I guess you know across the world where there's like a housing crisis, housing homes are pretty expensive. So if the
Hmm,
modular homes are more cost effective and they're also safe, because you have to think, okay, how did this would be a good test. How did some of these modular homes fare in the hurricane? What if
yeah.
will the modular home just blow away, or maybe the modular homes are super resilient and they're the ones who are standing there.
I
So
mean,
that's something I'd probably look at.
I've seen some. So some of the modular homes are, you know, I think they're made out of. They're like containers, right? Like the same metal type material. So
Mm-hmm.
let me see if I can share my brethren's tweet. Yakini. I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can see it, Preston. You can probably bring it
uh
up to show some of the
wouldn't
modular
be able
homes.
to
But
bring it up.
oh, that's fine. Take your time.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be
Uh,
able to.
I can probably do it. Let's share my screen.
Oh wait. I think I can actually. I'm just going to incognito.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Preston doesn't use social media. But you know, if I was driving through that area and I see containers flipped. Now do ask me how the winds flipped them, but they were flipped. Some were like on their side, some were rolled, some were damaged. So I mean, you really need like the only homes that I've seen that have stood the like throughout the hurricane,
Mm-hmm.
like if you have a slab roof,
Concrete. Yeah, slab
yeah,
roof.
concrete
Yeah.
slab roofs have I mean there's some concrete walls that I see that are down, but I think maybe those probably weren't built well. Like I look through and I'll see, I won't say
The
enough
concrete
steel.
wall fell. Wow.
Yeah, but you don't see enough steel through them, so those are probably just not well built.
Wow.
But my thoughts, I don't know, I'm not an engineer. I don't, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't see them faring well against category 5
Mm.
storm winds. So it's a great housing solution,
Mm-hmm.
for the short to medium term. But in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like, if you really want uh, durable housing, I don't know of modular houses. But then again, I'm a doctor, so I don't really know. I don't really know. Um, but yes, going back to the comment section, learn, grow, invest. Jermaine, yes, this is live. This is live. Big up yourself, Jermaine. You should drop some comments. Tell us how you fared throughout the storm. And guys,
Mm-hmm.
anybody here, if it's
Should make
15
him
of
join
you
the live.
guys, yeah, you should make you enjoy it. Send him the link. But it's about 15 of you guys here. Hey, tell us, guys, how are you guys doing? How are your family members doing? Let us know, and let us know about your portfolios as well. And then I
Mm-hmm.
see a Kurt Gibson, 1998. 6% of dollar book is affected. Yes, yes. Yeah, man, we just read that and say. But we were saying that, it said mostly affected parishes. So it's not 6% of the loan portfolio, in my opinion, has been affected. It's definitely more, in my opinion. They're just saying
Mm-hmm.
that, and Preston brought up the good point that they said
Mm-hmm.
most affected by the hurricane. So those are probably
Mm-hmm.
the worst
I
of the
like that
worst
they at least
areas.
put out a notice. Like I think
Yeah.
a lot of companies should be put it. Has Dolphin Cove put out a notice? I feel
I'm
like they
not sure,
wouldn't.
but Dollar has always been
Uh,
super transparent with their shareholders on things like this. So
yeah.
I always
I mean,
rate
part
Dollar
of
for
that, I
that.
guess, is Jermaine in the chat. Big him up.
Having the investor
He's helped to
briefings.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that Dolphin. Look at, hold on. Look at even this chart. I'll go pull it up one sec. I was looking
Oh,
at
he says,
Dolphin Coves.
Learn, Grow, Invest. Jermaine says he has a coaching session in 10 minutes, but he'll join the live next time. So next time we'll have Jermaine on. Hold us to that.
Yeah.
And he
Look
said
at the
we did
charts.
okay. Family is safe. Blessings,
Okay.
Jermaine.
Good.
I'm
Good.
glad the family is safe.
Mm. Which day you said? Look at this. October. Which day did the hurricane fully hit?
The
Cause look at this.
28th.
October 24th. It was 1387. Now it is 11.99 or $12. It went from about $14 to 12. Just over the last few days. Damn, who would be
Mm-hmm.
crazy enough to buy this
All
in a
right.
hurricane? All right.
Jermaine said portfolio looking good as well. This week was a good week. Yes, that is. Hey, sounds like steak dinner on Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, that's good though. I'm happy to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Kovich said, God is good. I wasn't affected, but my family was. There without light and water, and crops and fruit trees are down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear, man. I'm glad everyone is good though, and I'm hoping health wise your family is okay. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I hope they get back light water and they just recover
Mm-hmm.
as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my friends, my family members in Westmoreland are without light and water.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma is, I think she doesn't have water. She definitely doesn't have light.
Oh boy.
Part of her roof is gone too. But she's great. She's in good spirits. I mean, a couple of days after she was roasting breadfruit from all the breadfruit trees that were down, the whole yard is a mess.
Breadfruit. You want
Yeah,
breadfruit?
yeah. She like it's so crazy to see, because it's the same yard you grow up in. You spend
Mm-hmm.
Christmas, summers there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like
Oh boy.
unrecognizable. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the trees are down. I hear me about fruit trees. All the trees are down. Cherries, mangoes, pear, fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
tough.
But yeah, I was just going down the list of like there's so many things to think about. Like we mentioned the loan companies, so even access. I don't say I noticed from them, but I see their shareholder meeting is coming up. So if I was a
Hmm.
shareholder, I definitely want to go there. I think the insurance companies would be interesting too.
Yeah, let's
I'm
touch
sure
on
Berger will get some
a
increase.
couple of
Oh,
the
go.
insurance. No, let's touch on a couple of the insurance companies, because we had one notice from one insurance company this week,
Mm.
like GNAC,
Which? Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
one that's mooning right now that went up almost 10% today. Look
yeah.
at that.
Small volumes, but well,
But hey,
mm. queue is empty though.
look,
But the sell queue is
there's a
yeah.
huge order at
What
six
they
dollar
do,
ninety five.
they do more. Like they don't do life insurance, they do general insurance. So they do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
property insurance. I remember it'd be interesting to see what their exposure is. 'Cause I remember I think they had an investor briefing last year with Hurricane Beryl with Mayberry, and they
Mm-hmm.
were asked about, I guess their exposure, and then the CEO at the time, I think her name is Miss Sharon Donaldson, had kind of said, "Oh, that they basically didn't really have much exposure. They were very lucky, So it'd be interesting to see, hey, what's their? I guess I think it was Saint Elizabeth that was more hit last time, or Mandeville. She had said, I can probably check the exact transcript or whatever. But it'd be interesting to see, hey, how much insurance do they provide to things like Westmoreland?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And even like vehicles too. Like I know a lot of vehicles were damaged
Yeah,
throughout this.
look at that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
like
heard.
I'm seeing videos and pictures of cars. I don't know if you saw the videos of there's some vehicles in, I think it's Burnt Savannah, where they were like under piles of like soil and rocks and so on. I don't know if
Mm-hmm,
it's landslides. Um so yeah, I mean they have a lot of exposure, but the reason I bring up GNAC is because of the latest acquisition. Um
mm-hmm,
so I don't know if you want to bring up the acquisition stuff, but they acquired a company called, well, I wouldn't say GNAC acquired the company. If we read it closely, it's really Moson, right? Moson is the GNAC's parent company, uh, and they're the ones that acquired the Beacon Insurance Company Limited. So Beacon's headquartered in Trinidad and Tobago. The roots are way back from 1970s. Um, and they ranked among the top general insurers in Trinidad. I saw an
mm,
article that said they're actually the fourth largest, but they operate across the
mm,
Caribbean. They have a presence in like Trinidad,
mm,
Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, a bunch of different companies. And they do very similar things to GNAC because they focus on motor, property, accident, and casualty, those kind of insurance
mm-hmm,
products, and so on. So they're pretty well established, a regional general insurer, and
mm-hmm,
so on. And it said, Moson acquired 100% of Beacon,
mm-hmm,
and that was the 31st of October. That was effective. And so, but then after regulatory approvals, it said that Beacon will become a subsidiary of GNAC. So I don't know how that's going to work. It's something me
mm-hmm,
and you and I we were talking about it off air. Um, because Gina could then have to purchase the shares from Moson, so on. And we were trying to run some numbers because the combined book is projected at over what 32 billion Jamaican
mm-hmm,
in gross written premiums annually. So that would create one of the leading Caribbean general insurance groups. Like
mm,
Moson strategy, they're just taking over. If they want, they literally want to form,
mm-hmm,
they want to be the biggest player in certain industries. That's how I see it.
mm-hmm,
Um, so I'm just wondering how that would work because right now you are saying that that GNX loan book, or their not loan
mm-hmm.
book, their book is what 12 billion
I think revenues they did
revenues.
12 billion, yeah, last year.
Mm-hmm. So if the
Yeah, 12
combined book
billion,
is
and their best year was 14.8 billion. Yeah.
so if the combined book is projected at over 32 billion, Beacon's a much larger player than GNAC. So how, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the acquisition of it of Gina of
Mm-hmm.
Beacon from GNAC's point of view, not Masan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
what I want to do is see how is but is Beacon isn't in Jamaica at all.
I don't
So I
think so.
guess, yeah, 'cause based
No.
on this, I don't think it's in Jamaica. So I guess and I don't, yeah, I don't think they would be really, Beacon's book, I don't think would be really hit by the hurricane. But it'd be interesting to see how GNAC, yeah, how is GNAC's insurance, like, do they have, maybe I could, that's the thing, if someone, if you own shares in GNAC, I definitely suggest, or if you're looking to own shares, probably checking out those investor briefings that they had, because maybe in it they disclosed, maybe they spoke about the parishes that they're more heavily exposed to, and suppose they say, oh yo, we were very heavily exposed to Westmoreland or something, and then or Mobay or St. James, I should say, and
Hmm.
those were more hits. So yeah, you can't get
Yeah.
any units right now.
For what, GNAC?
Yeah,
Yes,
based
man.
on
There
the
are always units.
current.
Look at that. A
Oh
ton of
yeah.
units at $6.95.
That's true. That's true. My bad. My bad.
Mm-hmm. So if you really want units, say buy out the bar. I mean, buy out the queue.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
learn, grow, invest. Not the best time to buy a used car. Agreed. Especially from out of town. Yeah.
Mm.
Somebody said that to me even with before Hurricane Melissa and with like the current flooding and so on. Yeah, not
Mm.
a good time to buy a used car at all.
Hmm.
Um, I can't imagine the level of damage that may have happened for a lot of those cars, and just go with a mechanic, guys. That's all I'll say. If you're gonna buy a used car, make sure a mechanic
Hmm.
checks that out thoroughly. Yeah.
Hmm.
But 100% agreed, Jermaine. 100% agreed.
Hmm. What I'd even
Uh,
check is like I'm just thinking of a lot of the tourism companies to like the ones that
mm-hmm,
sell food, like CPJ, or like how because I don't know what the damage has been. I've heard some stuff. I haven't checked it myself. Like people are talking about some of those specific hotels that were heavily damaged.
mm-hmm.
I
There
think
were.
someone said one of the Sandals. Someone said I think Princess Resorts or something like that. I think that's a new one too. They were saying that I don't know how damaged they were, but they were saying that hey, they were damaged. So that's a big thing because if I'm a company like CPJ selling food to these to the hotel and then the hotel is damaged, people are not going to be
Mm-hmm.
coming to the hotel as much or at all. So I'm not going to be buying food from you. So the food that you bought, if it's well, I guess CPJ has some of the stuff that can store and stuff. But
And liquor
yeah,
sales
it's
too.
gonna be yeah.
Because look at the amount of events that are going. A lot of events have been canceled. People just don't even want to have events now. Like I remember seeing, um, you know, the talk on like chilling. I don't know if you know that event, chilling on the farm. I think it's
Mm,
in Clarendon, and they were
I think
like,
I've
"Yo,
heard of
we
it.
they don't feel right having an event right now because imagine you spend
Mm,
all your money and so on, you buy outfit and put gas in your car and
mm-hmm,
all of these things, and all that money could be used for Hurricane Melissa relief. And I'm like, yo, I
mm,
rate that people are thinking like that. I love that line of reasoning and that thought process. Like I like that,
mm-hmm,
you know. But the companies that would be affected by those effects, um you know like even when you think of like a main event, and other companies in that entertainment industry, definitely going to take a little hit.
mm-hmm.
Some people saying Christmas is cancelled.
Mm.
I don't know if
What?
you've been seeing that, but like even
No.
food is
Well.
food. I'm thinking of like food prices.
Mm-hmm,
I've seen a
mm-hmm.
lot
Especially
of, I don't
fruits and
know.
vegetables.
Yeah, like I
So.
saw, Chippenham. They do like they do a lot of eggs. I don't know if you've seen those trays coming from there. And then I start to think, there's also, let's say, company that does like eggs and chickens and
Mm-hmm,
chicks and stuff like
mm-hmm,
that as broilers. How bad
mm-hmm.
was broilers affected?
Mm.
Jamaica
I mean,
broilers.
look at this. They're already going through a lot already.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just gonna add salt to the
Compounding.
wound, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
I
even
don't know
imagine.
where are a lot of their farms and stuff located, if you know.
Um, I know of one in there's one in Clarendon. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about the western side of Jamaica if a lot are over there.
Mm.
So I'm not sure.
Mm. Or even looking
Yeah.
at them and how I guess you could look at that and look at maybe what's it called, Caribbean broiler or it's Caribbean CB
CB?
chicken, yeah, Caribbean
Mm.
broilers. Because then it'd be interesting to like, what if CB chicken is more on that side of the island,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're more affected, and then broilers would say, "Hey, we're actually on this side of the island. We can step up and try and meet the demand." I don't know. That's
I
something I
don't know.
guess I'd look into. But I'm still waiting because I think they're supposed to. I think I was checking the Jamaica broilers because they had some issues with their financials, and they were saying like they kept like delaying because they're like, hey, we're gonna have to fix this up. Check out this. So I think this has probably delayed it even more. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they're gonna drop it. They're gonna try to drop it soon. So that'll be interesting to see. Um,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's another thing. There's a lot of
Yeah.
thinking. I think people should do now. Definitely
Mm-hmm.
think you should try to think it out. You're gonna read the comments.
Yeah, I saw a comment Jamaica 278. Just why there is no Jamaican home builders on the stock exchange.
Mm,
Um, home builders. But well, you have companies that they're companies within that industry, like construction.
mm-hmm,
So we were mentioning Atlantic Hardware, Carib Cement, Lumber Depot, etc. So the the contractors or companies that actually build houses themselves may not be there, but you can kind of get a feel of construction based on those type of companies,
mm-hmm,
and that industry. And Chris Kovich said, if you are a mechanic or know about cars, you may be able to flip a few on price. True,
mm, mm-hmm,
opportunity there for them. If some of them are not actually damaged, that's very
mm-hmm,
true, or not. I don't. Yeah, I don't really know much about. It's so funny because I've had issues with my car. I know I'm kind of frozen right now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my Wi-Fi. But I've had issues with my
mm-hmm.
car, and um, I wish I was one of those guys that knew about cars or someone. Like I know to change a tire. I know to fill up my coolant and change my engine oil at least. I
Engine
know to do that.
oil.
Yeah, to check the
Mm,
engine oil and those kind of stuff. But anything beyond
mm-hmm.
that, like not me. I know human anatomy. I don't know car anatomy. Maybe one day I'll learn car anatomy, but I know human anatomy. Um,
Mm,
yeah, not that type of youth at
mm-hmm,
all. But
mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm.
Jamaica two
I'm
seven eight
trying to
can
learn a
use
little.
who you?
Yeah, I was just asking like my kind of the other day. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like, well, my sister had like an issue with her brake or something, and then he was like explaining the whole thing of like the brake fluid versus the automatic brake system, and then okay, if you're having issues with that, it could be issues with this one or issues with this one. I mean, very basic. I was just trying to understand very basic stuff, but I think it's good to just understand, because like you'd be surprised, like if you could know some of this stuff, you can save a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
Even stuff at
definitely.
the house, like the other day I was um using a drill, like putting on the number on our house,
Mm-hmm.
and just because like imagine someone doesn't know how to use a drill or whatever, they'd have to pay some person just to do something like that. But you can kind of
Mm-hmm.
learn. I did burn myself though, but I burned myself and I learned. So you know, yeah,
Okay,
it was funny
Preston.
because I was putting the drill in the wall, like I was drilling in the number, and I've been drilling
Mm-hmm.
it for a while. I broke a few bits drilling it, and it's like what I was doing was I was changing out the bits, and like I would drill it in, and I'd just screw out the bit and take it out with my
Yeah,
finger, and I was doing it fine. But then I think there was a point where I was drilling it for longer, and so it started heating it, but I
friction.
didn't realize.
Mm-hmm.
So I had been touching it fine multiple times before, but then this time it's like I just was taking it out and boop. But I mean, just like a little water bump, it's gone now. It's good.
Okay,
It's good.
excellent. I said
But yeah,
Jamaica
if
two
you
seven
guys didn't
eight.
know about a drill, watch out for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, real
Mm.
good lesson. Terrible that you had to learn it the hard way, but I guess Preston learned
Those
it
are the
for
best
you
lessons, I
guys.
guess.
Yeah.
Those are the best
Ah,
lessons.
Jamaica 278 said, can these insurance companies absorb the damage car loss? Um, I'm not sure what you mean by that. What do you
It's
think they
just I
mean
think
by
he's
that?
just saying like whatever cars have been damaged by the
Mm-hmm.
storm, do the insurance companies have enough money for the possible payouts? Supposedly
Okay.
they should, because there's regulations in the insurance industry like telling them, hey, this is the amount of money that you're supposed to have, and then there's like a whole system where you kind of spread the risk, and you have other people like insurance companies have insurance themselves by larger companies. So even if a
Mm-hmm.
small insurance company is hit, so the bigger person should be able to hold it. So technically they should. That's why we have a lot of these regulations in place. But you mentioned insurance companies. Think about Guardian. I'd love to see
Yeah.
how heavily exposed. I remember, I think with Burial they were not that badly hit. There was that they didn't. I think their insurance basically helped cover them. But it'd be interesting to
Mm-hmm.
see how is that hit. Like look at that and how that impact NCB and such too.
Yeah.
I'd love
Because I'm
to.
looking at GNAC now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the quarter where Burial hit, so that would have been Q3 2024. Um, this was they still had a profit 57 mil. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Let me compare it to the year before that year, and it was still a profit. It was an increase, 100% increase actually in profit for that quarter. The
Mm-hmm.
July to September quarter, that Q3 for them. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't fare too badly throughout Beryl. So
Mm.
maybe
It'd be nice to
Melissa
get
is
2,000
clearly on a
notice.
true. Melissa is clearly a different
Mm-hmm.
um, monster altogether in terms of
Mm-hmm.
hurricane. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm. It's like how much lower can Guardian really go? Yeah, that's funny though. We'll see. Which another company that I'd be interested in? Uh,
did you see Transjam
I'll.
release? Uh, so Toll has been free, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've driven on the Toll, but it's been free
Mm-hmm.
even up to last night. It was free, but they also pledged, I think, close to like what $100 million for Melissa relief. I don't know if you saw
That's very
that.
good. Good
I
for
don't
them.
know if it's a
Nice.
hundred
I
million.
see a
I probably
notice. Oh, I see a notice saying that they finally acquired Phase 1C, which is the, well, it's going to go into effect December 1st.
okay.
They finished the agreement. So the Phase 1C is the Maypen to Williamsfield, that highway. So they're saying that they have
Mm-hmm.
actually acquired it. I don't know how it doesn't say how much. Just says okay. I guess people have been waiting on that, right? So I hope they're
Yeah.
happy with that.
True.
Hope they're happy with that.
Maybe.
That's good. Yeah, I'd love to. I don't know if wait, you said you drove on the Mandeville Highway. Is would you
Up to
say that there
last
was like
night,
a
yeah.
lot of damage?
No, it was in the
No.
night,
Okay.
but I doubt there. I didn't see any damage. I didn't see any damage.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it
So
was in the
that's good.
night.
So that they built
Yeah.
the highway. The highway was built correctly, hopefully.
Yeah. Maybe the
Yeah, I
toll
think it's.
booths. I don't know, but
Oh.
I didn't see any damage. I still have to.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah. But the
Mm,
fact that they're
I
also
think.
gonna help with the I mean the Melissa relief. I keep saying barrel
Mm,
sometimes. Um, yeah, I need to find that article. I
mm,
want to actually post it for you guys. Uh,
mm.
Transjam Highway. I guess
Yeah, I
you're looking
found
for
it.
it.
Yeah, I
Nice.
found it.
I don't know if it was it 100. It was 100 mil. Okay, great. A CEO Ivan, uh, managing director, I should say Ivan Anderson. 100 mil.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Do we expect lower profits because of that? I mean, is 100 mil that much? Yeah, I guess it is.
mhm, mm.
But hey, I don't really care.
Yo,
Donate,
you can lend me
man.
100 mil, bro. Lend me a small 100 mil.
Yeah, donate, man.
Just
What
a
I say
small
to all of
change,
these
bro.
companies and all of these
Promise
celebrities
I'll
and so
pay you
on,
back.
open up your purse, Zion, and
Mhm,
just support Jamaica. Is it .gov? That let me find
mhm.
out the. I don't want to say this. Support Jamaica.gov.jm. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Open up your
Yeah.
purse, guys. Yeah.
I see Jamaica 278 says we need to seriously think about how we build our infrastructure going forward. And yeah, that's a major point, like we were talking about before. Just like this hurricane was horrible, right? But there will be more hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
The science shows that the climate is changing, the earth is warming. The warming increases the likelihood that hurricanes or storms form, the strength at which storms form. We're having records in terms of how fast storms are reaching a certain degree. Look at this is one of the strongest hurricanes ever. And I think we can't move Jamaica, so we just have to try to find a way to say build. Like for example, I was talking to someone who's I guess in the real estate industry and stuff. He was telling me about like the whole thing of slab roofs. So he was saying that the slab roof actually isn't really that much more expensive or so compared to the other style of roof like zinc and that stuff. I need to I guess double
Oh.
check that myself, but he was saying that, for example, the looks, people don't like the look as much on the inside of the house, and also it's not. I think it traps heat
Heat, yeah,
more.
it
So
does.
then that's
Concrete
another thing to
absorbs
factor
heat.
in. Okay, we're in heat, but I mean, to me, it's I would rather try to find some way to cool down the building, or try to build in a way that it's cool, and then more. Yeah, because I think it's just you want to try to build ways that the drainage systems need to be built differently or better. Try to build it so that okay, the homes are more resilient. Because you don't just want to, like, even with this, um like a lot of these buildings are leveled, but if we're going to build them back, we can't. Which I don't think we should just build them back the same way
The
if we're
same way.
possible. So if you can't afford it, yes, but if you can afford it, or try to make it some affordable or something, just try to, I guess, be future planning. Obviously, that's not easy, but I think
Not,
it's not.
it's costly,
Yeah, it's not easy,
especially
but it's.
to people that don't have money. Because when you think about the people that have zinc roof and so on, a
Hmm.
lot of the times it's not out of choice. It's just what they have. So
Hmm.
it's so tough, like, I used to think when I was growing up,
Hmm.
during Ivan, I was still like a kid. I was
Hmm.
still in prep school and primary school and
Hmm.
so on. And you, you, you'd see that people wash away, they build their house like by the gullies and so on. And I asked my mom, I'm like, "Yo, mommy, why are people so foolish to do that?" Now that I'm much older, I can see that, it's just that you just don't have a choice. That's just where you
Hmm.
can
You're
afford
like,
to live.
why don't they just take their private jet and leave the island when the hurricane is there, man? Come
Yeah,
on,
when people
just go
tell it,
away for
yeah,
a
like
weekend.
people tweeting saying, "Yo, you should just it's a cat 5. You should evacuate the island." Like, you think every 3 million people can just get up and just
Brother,
evacuate?
I don't have a visa.
Yeah, bro. Like,
The price of visa just raised, bro. Like,
the price of visa just raised indeed. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. So I mean, it's tough. It's very tough.
hmm. Yeah, so just
Um,
going down the list even more. Omni. Think about that with Omni. I know they sell a lot of like, they sell some construction related things that don't do a lot of like
they do.
PVC pipes. I'm sure we're gonna
I
need
think
lots of those different pipes and wire. Well, yeah, pipes.
I
You were
think
saying
Omni
something, sorry?
might surprise some people. Oh wow, the price has gone up. Look at that
Mm.
for Omni. It was trading at like the day of the hurricane
Mm.
would have been like,
It was below a
so
dollar.
October 30th.
Yeah,
It was
it's now
80
a dollar
81
18.
cents.
So it's up
Mm-hmm.
18, well, over 18%.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a
that's
director buying. Pick up that director who was buying like when it was below a dollar. They were probably just like, haha, silly,
mm-hmm.
silly people selling on my stock. I mean, just buy it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. Yeah, there are lots of
yeah.
companies I know. Like a lot, this whole market has shifted.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell there's
Yeah.
definitely a shift. Um.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, look at
I was
Tropical.
thinking,
Tropical is down
mm,
to $1.27 today. Wow,
damn,
thoughts
who would
and
have
prayers.
guessed?
Who would have guessed indeed?
Yeah. I mean,
Yikes.
they raised their money with the APO, so it should be good, right? So,
For the
raise the
company,
money
yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. I think Wigton put out a notice because I think they're, what I was saying, like think about it. Wigton Wind Farm, they run their wind farms in a lot of them I think are in Mandible, and
No,
they sell that
but
energy to JPS,
Manchester
or
same
near
thing.
Mandible at least.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
sorry, Manchester. Yeah, yeah. To me, it's the same thing.
I can understand.
But
Oh,
yeah.
you Kingstonians.
Where are you now?
I'm in Kingston.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
Anyway, they remember they so they their wind farms are in Mandeville, and I
No,
think they
Manchester.
sorry, Manchester. See, I messed it up again. Sorry, Manchester.
Rose Hill, Manchester.
And
Yeah.
they wanna bid to be able to build a solar farm in, I think, Clarendon. And it wasn't Clarendon also pretty badly affected, right? So imagine if they had already built that, and then that solar farm, like what could have happened? Luckily they haven't built it yet. I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping that they definitely make sure that to think before thinking and say, hey, how can they develop it in a way that it can be somewhat resilient?
Exactly.
But I think they put out a notice saying that there is
Last week.
some, was it last week? Let's
It was last
see,
week,
in
October
October
31st.
3rd. Oh, October 31st. Let me share it. One sec.
I can probably just start reading.
They put out. Oh no,
So, Wigton
sorry. October.
Energy,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they advised that following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, an assessment of our wind farms operations in Rose Hill, Manchester was completed. This initial assessment identified limited damage to certain wind turbines at phase one of the plant, which is the
Mm-hmm.
older phase, guys.
Which is the one they were gonna
And
already build out and replace that
phase
with a
out.
solar farm.
Exactly.
In addition
And
to the
this,
other one we're talking about.
mhm. And they said no physical damage was observed at phases two and three. Repairs and restoration work at phase one will commence with the support of our dedicated team members, insurers, etc. And they spoke about while Wigton's internal restoration activities are advancing, the affected transmission lines that connect the wind farm
Mm-hmm.
to the national grid must first be inspected and re energized by JPS before the wind turbines can be fully tested and returned to service. So even now, the wind turbines have not, they're not operational right now
Mm-hmm.
because they have to wait on JPS to
Mm-hmm.
inspect and re energize
Mm-hmm.
that connection. And they said they continue to work closely with JPS to facilitate this process and ensure a safe and timely restoration of grid connection. But them not, that's how they make money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They have to sell the energy to JPS, but now they
Mm-hmm.
really can't in all of this. So and you see in the stock price, I think the stock price has fallen, uh, or not entirely. It's meandering around the
Mm-hmm.
$1.20 that it normally is at. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But that's just interesting to see.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean, basically they're saying that hey, even if their turbines themselves aren't damaged, the wire that you connect it to actually sell the energy to actually make the money from it is basically damaged, and they
Mm-hmm.
can only it's not really up to them to have it fixed. It's JPS,
It's really
so
JPS.
they're kind of like yeah they're at the mercy of JPS with that
Agreed.
regard, So that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
tough too. What's another?
We have some
I mean,
comments. Some
oh,
comments in
so
the
I
section.
see.
So I said Jamaica 278 again. I think the
Hmm.
government needs to build a civil engineering team to rebuild Jamaica for the next 50 years. Yeah, man, I agree. And you say you heard the solar farm got destroyed. Um, wow. I'm wondering which, as in this is a Wigton solar farm you heard got destroyed. That
They
which
haven't
solar
built one
farm got
yet.
destroyed?
So
Exactly. Yeah, I just thought
yeah.
about it. Let me know which solar farm got destroyed. Chris Covich said, "I'm in architecture. If you build a timber roof correctly, and to code it is more expensive compared to slab roofs. The issue is also that persons just build without proper regulations." Yeah, I've been
Mm.
seeing that. Even in Kingston, there are times where it rains a little bit and there are new developments that, you just
Call
see
name.
them come apart and you're just like, I'm not called the name. But it's just, yeah. And Chris Kovich also says heat from concrete is due to poor design. Many Jamaicans want designs not suitable for our climate because they want Pinterest designs. um, okay, well, you're the expert in a boss. You're in that area, so I, I
Hmm.
I would have to just agree with you there. Um, but I don't know. To me, concrete would absorb more heat than if it was the alternative, which is timber,
Mm.
as you're saying. But you're the expert, man. I say must sees 9862 shipping companies should see an uptick like Mailpack. Um, okay, I agree. Yes. Personally, I have bought more things. I actually bought a couple power banks
Mm.
too. I'm wondering
But did you buy it
how.
through shipping companies, Jamaican shipping companies, or did you buy it through like Amazon?
Yeah, actually, no, through a Jamaican shipping
Through
company, not
shipping.
Mailpack.
Okay.
But
Mm.
yeah, but we should talk about the customs duty waiver because I need to actually look it up before I make any comments on it. But I know there's a Jamaica customs
Hmm.
there's a waiver on like certain items for the
Yeah,
relief.
I think one of my
They waive.
shipping, one of the shipping companies like emailed me and told me which items. I can probably pull it up.
Oh, okay. I see. Ministry of Finance also posted something too. Oh, here it is. There's a Gleaner article that talks about the import tax waiver for disaster relief supplies extended to December. So the government extended the window for which persons can import Hurricane Melissa relief supplies and donations without paying customs duty and GCT. And you know, um, Holness said this will allow every shipment of emergency supplies to reach affected persons without much hassle or delay, noting that recovery efforts are ongoing and would go on much longer than the original 1 month exemption period, thankfully. And they said, meanwhile, the Prime Minister announced that satellite internet devices such as Starlink and other such equipment, inverters, and solar power equipment, including panels and batteries, have been added to the list of tax exempt items. I think this is a
Mm,
really good move
mm-hmm,
because, oh, here it is, to get power and communication to areas that are without such services. So, yeah, let's say if you can buy
mm-hmm,
2 Starlinks and send one to a family or a community, do it. If you can buy solar
mm,
batteries and solar panels and give it to a community or a household in the
mm,
affected parts of Jamaica, please
mm,
do it.
mm,
Um, so yeah, 100%. I think this is such a good move because these
mm,
are much needed items. So,
mm-hmm.
and then Preston has a lot of other items as well. I don't know if you want to talk
Oh,
about that.
garbage bags, nails. Wow. So see the hardware stores, tarpaulins. It'd be interesting to see because I'm like, oh, if you could buy it from, the whole Amazon free shipping now,
Mm-hmm.
or in those things, you could do it through Amazon possibly. Tents,
Yeah.
igloos. I need an igloo. Wow. Sleeping bags, flashlights, basic school supplies. Basic school supplies is so vague, though. I wonder which specific bottled water. Wow. Mobile
Yeah.
battery packs, as you mentioned, lanterns, lamps, solar floodlights. Nice. Wow, there's a lot of stuff. Non-perishable food. So wow, it's just some corned
Mm-hmm.
beef, masks. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Water purification kit. That's really good. Yeah, a lot of things that we definitely need. I mean, I wouldn't be buying bottled water abroad, but hey, some people prefer Fiji, I guess, or something. I don't know. Um,
Mhm,
yeah, but good talk, must sees. I appreciate that. That's a good show. Shipping companies might actually see an uptick. I'm here wondering if there was like there
mhm,
are delays or you know people might be affected. So are they buying as much? Because I feel
mhm,
like the items that people buy from shipping companies might be things that they use as like disposable income. And now are they using that money for those kind of things? Um,
mm,
like you just have to I just have to wonder, is it that the money that they're are they is funds being diverted away from the shipping companies now, to buying locally and buying things for donation and non-perishables and those type of things,
mhm,
over buying things online. So I don't really know.
mhm,
Some people, as I said,
mhm,
some people say Christmas is cancelled, and if Christmas cancelled, people are buying less online, but I don't
mhm,
necessarily think that might be happening. So I guess we'll see. um Jamaica 278 said concrete is dummy proof. And you also said, Jamaica 278, we need to look at relocating vulnerable people rather than maintaining them in those areas. Um, Thankfully, I'm not in government to be able to answer this. That's tough, the relocation of people, because people just squat on land and so on. So it's difficult. Can the government force move people? Maybe they can. I don't really know. But yeah, something to actually look at. Instead of
mhm,
relocating vulnerable people, though, I would say there has to be a way where when the government says evacuate a certain area, to be able to
mhm,
do that a bit more. Like, I'm not saying force people out and so on, but I think now with everything going on and people actually see the effects, because I don't know about you guys, but in previous hurricanes, like I took this one very seriously. I took Melissa very seriously, and the fact that it was
mhm,
coming so slowly gave me enough time to prepare, to go to the
mhm,
supermarket and so on. And I would have food for actually have food for a couple of weeks, just in
Mm.
case it hit me and hit us that bad. But I don't know of other people thinking in that light. And people,
Mm-hmm.
I know people would have thought that we get way and we go get way. I remember
Mm-hmm.
watching, was it? I don't remember which local. It wasn't all angle. It was a TV. It was a local
Mm-hmm.
program this week, and they were interviewing somebody in
Mm-hmm.
Westmoreland talking about the storm, and they were like, yo, they never expected the storm to come and
Mm-hmm.
hit us at like a particular time. And I'm just like, wait, what? But I have to realize that some people probably just didn't take it as seriously, because we've
Mm-hmm.
been blessed over the past few years where most hurricanes that, the projected path is Jamaica and somehow ends up turning away and so on. So it's almost like the boy who cried wolf kind of vibe. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, this one really did hit us badly. So hopefully, people take it a bit more seriously. And then Ingrid
Mm-hmm.
Stevenson said, "Don't you have to pay a monthly subscription for the Starlink?" Yes, I think the first month has been waived for us though, with our partnership. I think Daryl Vaz's partnership with Starlink. He's minister like
Mm.
telecoms and so
Just
on.
a big up
And
Elon.
yeah, big up Elon and big up Daryl Vaz. I see a lot of Starlink. Like one of the police stations yesterday got Starlink too, and so on. So
Mm.
and I see a lot of cars going down on the highway with Starlink on them as well, like on top of the roof. So it's like I see that there's a lot of people are importing Starlink. Even the government, I
Mm.
think, got like 200 Starlink.
How much does a
Um,
Starlink cost? You can buy it
well,
on
you can
Amazon.
Google. No,
Let's
they
see.
can.
So I've went to start. Oh, go.
Oh no. Oh well. I mean, I'm looking at it now. Um, well, you could probably
Oh
show
no, I see it on
everybody.
Amazon. I see some stuff on Amazon.
Residential is 5.5 a month per service.
I
Roam is
see. So I see on
7.8.
Starlink's website, starlink.com, they say for customers in Jamaica and the Bahamas impacted by Hurricane Melissa, Starlink is providing free service through the end of November 2025.
Mm.
And I'm looking on Amazon now. I see Starlink, a standard kit AX tri-band Wi-Fi system. This says, I don't think this is probably like a more fancy one. Maybe I can just look on their website themselves. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
I'm on
supposed to
their
be that
website now.
expensive.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think it's that expensive. I think it's like 300 and odd US. 15,
wow.
30, 45. Yeah, it's about 50K. I think it's more than 50K. Yeah, it's definitely way more than 50K. A little bit more than 50K. I'm clicking order now, but it's not taking me
Yeah,
anywhere.
same thing happening. I don't know.
I just maybe have to
Maybe
put
they're.
in service address. But I know the initial setup fee is like, 300 and odd US. And then you have to
Oh,
pay a
wow.
monthly fee. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, but it says service starting at $80 a month, and it says no upfront. Hold on. Deposits. Oh, this is saying service hardware. Oh, yeah. See, the hardware there's the mini, which is
Mm-hmm.
38,000 Jamaican. The standard, which is 60K.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm
interesting.
seeing it here. Yeah. Which one would you buy? I have to do a lot more
I
research.
don't know the difference. I'd have to. I guess one is probably faster.
Hmm. I like the mini though, because I mean, I have a home internet already. I think the mini would be just for on the go. No, if I were to replace it, I'd have to have something I can take and
But the
move.
thing is, you need internet to even use it anyway.
What do you mean? Oh, to
So,
set it up.
sorry, not internet. You need power. You need power.
Power. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I see some other
We'll get
people in the
into my
chat.
car.
Jamaica 278 says rent voucher for relocation. Oh, I guess you're saying we should give rent vouchers for relocation, that people should be donating to that. And Jamaica 278 said, oh, 80 US per month. And then Mr. Paris says the prices vary in the US to Jamaica, 300 US for the kit. And I
Hmm.
think Vice Matic was suggesting to do the standard. He said it can use DC and AC power. Also, it can use batteries. Oh,
Oh, that's pretty
nice.
cool.
I mean, I guess, yeah, interesting. I wonder which type of batteries. But yeah, I mean, it could help. I mean, my idea is like, okay, if you have like say there was a hospital that
Mm-hmm.
you wanted an internet at, and you can't, maybe you have the power but you don't have internet or something because those lines are down, then I guess you could set it up there and it could help communication and stuff. But yeah, even if like, I'm even thinking if you could have a situation where your phone cell service is down, but if you had just WhatsApp on your phone, you could WhatsApp call people. So yeah, I'm sure it can
True.
help. I'm sure it can help. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, well, I think we went through quite a bit for this episode. I want to thank you guys for being here with us. We should do more lives. We definitely should do more lives. My internet was super spotty today, and it's never usually like that, but we'll try to make an
Mm.
effort.
Blame Melissa.
Um, I'm gonna blame Melissa. Sorry, yo, I can't talk to anybody named Melissa right now. If somebody named Melissa is watching this, I'm so sorry. um, but yeah, that does bring us an end to the episode, guys. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. Share it with a friend as well. Um,
Hmm.
our thoughts and prayers are with everyone across Jamaica who's been affected by Hurricane Melissa. Those who've lost loved ones, their homes, livelihoods. This was a historic hurricane, but the resilience of the Jamaican people is also just as historic. Like we've seen communities come together, I've seen businesses step up, I've seen the diaspora show up in full force, right? And support just is pouring in from across the globe. Like a lot of countries are supporting us. So whether you're listening from Jamaica or abroad, if you can help, please do. Whether it's donating, volunteering, even just sharing verified resources, like what I said, support jamaica.gov.jm.
Hmm.
Um, that would go a far way. Like recovery itself won't happen overnight, but it will happen, right? And every mickle make a muckle, every bit helps. And so yeah, until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and each other, and just stay limitless.
Peace.
Limitless.